people mourning. And we've got Alex Ryvchin here, who has just been to a funeral today. I'm really sorry to hear of all of your losses. How was the funeral for Rabbi Schlanger?
It was one of the most difficult things I've experienced. You know, someone who I love deeply and who had a profound impact on my life and the life of this community. But that's secondary to the loss of, of his wife and of his kids, and seeing his wife, who herself was wounded in the back and was just released from hospital for the funeral, seeing his children, the youngest one being 8 weeks old, and seeing his eldest son having to recite the mourner's prayer over his grave. It was so heartbreaking beyond words, and it just showed what those people did to us, what they took from us. And for what? What did they gain from this? I mean, they've given up, the father gave up his life, the son will give up his liberty. For what gain? Our misery, our pain? It just shows the psychosis of this mania that we call anti-Semitism and radical Islam that has caused this. But it's really shattered the community. It's going to take a long time to rebuild, if at all.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. And we had former Prime Minister John Howard on Sky News yesterday, and we were asking him about hate and how we can get rid of hate. And he basically said, you know, the opposite of hate is love. And that's what we're seeing here so much, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's been beautiful. And I'm still somewhat surprised how many non-Jewish people are here. I know I shouldn't be surprised, because Australians are fundamentally good and decent and fair-minded and compassionate. But I still view this as primarily a Jewish trauma, and I expect it to be kind of internal. But it shows how deeply affected the country is. And I've met Indigenous leaders from up and down the coast who have come here to show that their mob is with us. Faith leaders, ordinary Aussies from all over the country who just want to show their solidarity and support. And so many more have written in and phoned and sent messages on social media and all around the world. And I know people are touched by this, and people are angered by it and stand with us. And yet, what we've lost, we can't get back, you know. And anything good that comes from this, and Rabbi Schlanger in particular always saw the good in things and saw the need to find good in dark moments. So he would have liked this. But I think it's a too great a cost. It's too great a price that we've paid for it.
And so many people in the Jewish community have been saying that they weren't surprised, unfortunately, that something like this happened. And the next question, I guess, is where to from here. We had Josh Frydenberg, you know, he was quite angry and just saying that we need to look at so many things. He included education, he included Royal Commission potentially. But what are your thoughts on more education in the community about history and about learning about the Jewish community?
I mean, that's obviously essential, and I've spoken about that for a long, long time. I've written books for that very purpose. And Josh is a big supporter of anti-Semitism education. Also, Gillian Siegel, the Special Envoy, talks about it too. But to be honest, to talk about that in this moment, I don't disagree with it at all. But I think it's almost hollow. It would have been good at the beginning of this anti-Semitism crisis, when the community, people like Josh and Gillian Siegel and I, were saying we need better engagement, better education to dispel the myths and the dehumanization of the Jewish people, to prevent this massacre from happening. That's why we needed it. And to talk about it now, like with everything with this government, seems to be too slow and not quite good enough. Right now we're in a different place. Right now we're in a national security crisis, a terrorism crisis. We need to promptly determine how the failings occurred of policing and intelligence and government. We need to determine how many more people are out there that share this ideology and might have the means to carry out a similar attack. This threat clearly isn't over. If we think that there were two individuals who feel this way and are capable of acting this way, we're kidding ourselves.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us. I know there's so many people that are wanting to talk to you, and really sorry to hear so many of your losses. Take care.
Thank you so much, Shani. Thank you.